Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody. I'm going to let some people filter in. Make sure that link works. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna wait for some people to get in here because we have another 8 minutes. Mark, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining us. We got Mark Atkins in the chat, folks. Welcome. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm doing good, Mark. I'm doing good. Had a great Thanksgiving. Some good time off. I'm just waiting for more people to filter in here, guys. Thanks for coming. We're going to be talking about Stream Decks, companions, Qtake, all that cool stuff. Get the party started here at 1, maybe a little after. Let some people filter in. If you're here, feel free to say hi in the chat. If you have any questions as we go through this, please let me know. If you have any ideas about Stream Deck, things like that, let me know, because I value your guys' opinion too. So we got another 7 minutes. So if you want to pop back in, then stream's just open until it starts. So we'll see you all soon. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming. We still have another 5 minutes left until we get started. I'm just opening the stream so people can filter in. We'll get started at noon PST. Hey now, Galen Nebeker himself. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk Stream Decks. 5 more minutes, folks. Sorry for repeating myself, guys. If you're new here, we're just getting started. We will begin the discussion at 1, letting people filter in. 3 more minutes, guys. Thanks for your patience here. 15 here already. Wow. Thanks for being here, guys. Two minutes, and then I'll just get started with who we have. So Mark, do you have a Stream Deck right now? Have you picked up Classic, XL, going for the new one? What's your sitch? One minute, guys. All right. So it is 1 p.m. We're going to get started here. What is up, everybody? I'm Nick with NebTech. I want to just talk a little bit about the Stream Deck because ever since I got my hands on it, it's just been such a game changer for me on set, and it's made things a lot more streamlined, and I just feel more efficient with it. And there's a lot of fun, simple things you can do with it, and it can get pretty complicated. So that being said, I just want to establish first and foremost that Stream Deck is an external device. It's not to be trusted all the time. We all know Qtake can be weird, right? So this is our first line of defense. And what we have here is 40 totally rebindable hotkeys in Qtake. And with the shift modifier, we have 40 more. So never trust or rely on the Stream Deck too much. Always know that you're comfortable with your keyboard layout. And I'm going to spend a couple minutes doing a little bit of 101 in Qtake. If you know a lot about Qtake, this won't help you much, but I just want to jump in here real quick and talk about this. So in Qtake, there are two things that I want to talk about that will make your operating a little easier. The first, like we were talking about, is the hotkeys. So if I hold down function, we see that we have keybinds for all of these buttons here. And some of them by default are not optimized very well. So for example, scene, I've rebound to S, and my notes is N, and my shot is Z. So my first tip would be try to reconsolidate any of those important functions into easily accessible keybinds on the keyboard. The second note I would say about Qtake is when you look at the UI, what you want to do is you want to look at pieces that give you redundant information or buttons that you can access with a keybind. So let's look at view right here. We've got view 1, 2, 3, 4. I can use the number keys right there, and I can hold down the D. I can hold down D, go quad like that. So I don't need that menu. So I get rid of that. Same thing for media, scene, shuttle, all these things. So long story short, try to consolidate your GUI as much as you can to clean up your Qtake a little bit. So I just want to jump back to this real quick. See if, okay, so we have 15 people in here. So I want to jump right into the Qtake here, or into the Streamdeck, because there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with it. So this is my Streamdeck profile, and I know it's a lot of buttons and it's a lot, so we're not going to mess with that. We are going to we're going to make a new profile here. And this is kind of what you would see if you made a brand new Streamdeck page and just installed the software, things like that. You'd have it like this. So what I want to show you is 5 keys that you're going to want to use a lot, and one function that I don't recommend using. So the one I don't recommend using is pages. Pages lets you jump between different pages, but what that does is it locks you to these buttons here. And that's not efficient use of our space, because what we can actually do is we can create a new profile. And a new profile is much more powerful because we can have a multi-action that performs an action in Qtake and then switches our profile to some sort of sub-menu. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So switch profile is really powerful. Website is good if you need to access the Qtake rental shop often, or you need to go to a website, Gmail, whatever it is. Website's really strong. Open is powerful because it can open any application that you have, Photoshop, Qtake, OBS, whatever you need. Text is really good for notes, and we'll get a little more into that later. Text is very powerful. And then, of course, the good old-fashioned hotkey. Hotkeys are going to be really powerful for Qtake, and we'll get into some of that in just a bit. You guys, if you have any questions or anything, please let me know. I want to chat with you guys and, you know, dig into this together. So I've just made a new profile, but what I want is something to get me back home, right? So what we can do is we can create a multi-action, and multi-actions are probably the thing you're going to use the most in Streamdeck with Qtake. So multi-action, what I want to do here with this multi-action, if I double click, is I want it to take me back to the Qtake page like that. And I also want it to open Qtake. So I'm going to go to my applications, Qtake. So what that does is that lets me jump back and forth to these pages. And so now what I need is I need something on the Streamdeck to get me back to that page I just made. So I'll create another one. I'll go switch profile, and it'll take me to profile 1, the new one we just made. So I'll press this, and it'll take me back here, and I can navigate back and forth like that. So what I want to do now is I want to set up a couple of fun hotkeys for Qtake. And the hotkeys for Qtake are going to be based on my personal preference of operating. And so what I do is I have L and P bound to my live and my playback presets. So I'll show you what I mean here real quick. I've got all of these situations, but I don't really use a lot of them thanks to Companion. And we'll talk about that in a bit. But I just have live and play set to both of these. So that helps me operate, and it also helps in the Streamdeck. So if we go back to the Streamdeck, and if I, in my new profile, just want to make a little button that takes me live and also switches live and then does the same for playback. All we have to do is create a multi-action. With 2 hotkeys. And so my personal hotkey to go live is L, and then the hotkey to go live in Qtake is 9. And so that's a good button, and we can call that live. And we can open up our Streamdeck icon library, pick a nice color for it, maybe a bright one. There you go. And we'll do the same here. We're going to make a play one. So we're going to go hotkey. Sorry, this is going to start with the multi-action. It's going to be 2 hotkeys. The first one is going to be P, which is my hotkey to go playback on the video switcher. And the second one's going to be space. So let's take a look. Hold on, I'm going to color this real quick. We're going to call it play. We're going to make it green. So now I'm going to go back into Qtake with this new page that we have. And we have our new live and our play buttons. So I'll record a take real quick. In, out, cut. And then if this does its job right, it should switch to the 2 play right here and play the last take. And there you have it. Then you can turn on loop, whatever. And then if you want to go live, L9. So this is kind of your bread and butter in terms of navigating Qtake quickly and getting to complicated menus, is this multi-action that's kind of loaded up with hotkeys. So let's see here. So I want to go into my Stream Deck and show you a little bit of my Stream Deck stuff, unless there's any questions right now. So if anyone has any questions about where we're at right now, I'd love to hear them. If not, we're going to just jump right into my Stream Deck and talk about it. Okay. So I'm just going to take you through my buttons one by one here and show you what all of these are doing. Some of them are a little more complicated. Some of them are a little more simple. What I want to do is basically have all of the functions that you would need to operate Qtake on one page. So some of them seem a little redundant because some of them are very basic, right? Some of them are just, oh, view 1, view 2. That's the 1 key and that's the 2 key. So if you want your Stream Deck to be more complicated and have things like that, that's fine. But this is just my Qtake page. So I've got view 1 and view 2 here. I've got the sync function, and this one's pretty interesting because if my scene number is different on view 2 and I want to sync, it'll bring up this menu. Do you want to copy, right? And so what this does is it syncs the clip and the record at the same time, but what it will also do is it will skip that dialogue by pressing enter. So the hotkeys are Y and then enter and then C. So that's what it looks like when it syncs. I'll turn it off, turn sync back on. This one is a Qtake button. This one just takes me back to Qtake and switches my profile. This is my Stream Deck page. This will open up the Stream Deck menu. This one's pretty fun. This is a rehearsal button. So when I press it, it opens up the take, it makes it a rehearsal, and then it presses enter. So you got a little rehearsal button. And then you've got record A, record B. Next row, we've got dual, which is just the D key, right? You can hold it to go full screen. This one is full screen, which is the F key. This one is use range, which I find myself using a lot. I use the range, I turn it on and off. So I have that right here. This one is the video switcher for the companion. So that'll kind of be at the end. We'll talk about the companion, so I'll skip that one. This one is my notes function, and I think you're gonna like this one because what happens when I press this is it'll open up the notes in Qtake and it'll switch the page here. So it's just taken me to the notes page, and now you see here, I've got all of these buttons of very typical script notes. Over, clean, wide, master, tighter, things like that, okay? And then what I've done is I've taken custom screenshots of all of my actors and I've put them here on the notes, and it text inputs their character name. So I can go over Ricky to Gina and I can save that. So that's pretty powerful. But another layer of this that can get really powerful is, let's say camera 1 and camera 2, A and B camera have the same shot kind of. It's about the same note, or it's balls and charts, right? So what you can do is you can open your notes, You can go over Ricky to Gina, and then you can press this copy to view 2 button. And what that will do is it will take the note, copy it, go to view 2, open the notes, paste it, hit enter, and go back to view 1. So we'll see what that looks like right now. Okay. So that just inputted all of my notes for both view 1 and view 2. And I can press OK, and I can go with a different note for view 2. You get the idea. It's a really powerful menu, and you can press more and get more options here. There's a lot you can do. So that's kind of it for the notes page. It's one of the ones I'm the more proud of, so I just want to make sure we have it. Yeah, so note over Ricky to Gina, copy to view 2. Again, that's what that looks like. So very spicy. So the next one I want to show you is the, thank you, Elizabeth, I appreciate that. The next one I want to show you is the scene function. So if you press the scene icon here, it takes you to this giant menu with all of the numbers. And so you can say, your scripty says, okay, scene 12's on the board. Then I just go scene 12. And it inputs it into Qtake for me with hotkeys. So scene 13, and it's the same deal with all of these slate icons. So I'll just get these out of the way. So shot, you know, Baker's on the board, it's take 4, and it's a rehearsal, right? So I'm able to navigate the note taking and the rehearsals and the take and scene numbers pretty quickly. So I'll just go scene 1, no shot, this is straight up, and then take 1, and we'll call it a rehearsal. And then take 1 again. So that's how these 3 work with my notes. Pretty efficient for that. And then these are just, you know, frame left and frame right, which is fine. And then you've got in and out, and then these navigate those in and out points, and then up and down. See, a lot of these are pretty basic, but I find that these are the things I use the most. These 2 involve switchers. So this one will switch and play. This one will switch and go live. It's the same thing that we just did right here. So this one will switch and play. And you can see down there, I'm on playback. This one will switch and live. And this takes the operator error out of it. You know what I mean? So it's convenient. And then mute button, that just mutes view 1. I've got just a play, which is just the space bar. I've got chapter and chapter delete. So it's like you hit the chapter, oh, too early, delete it, go again. Not my idea, someone else helped me come up with that one. And then chapter navigation, but this is a new button for now. So this is kind of just a taste of what I've done with the Stream Deck. I'll also jump into my tiny Stream Deck real quick, if I can get it over here. There we go. Okay, so these are the functions I have for this one, and some of these are a little spicy and you might not want to use them. So use them with caution if you want this profile. This one's pretty cool. This one is just select, right? I can select some clips, but this one's nice if you're a fan of deleting rehearsals. You can just press this trash can. Boom, done, no hands. This one is nice because this is a stream reset button, and it's the same deal, right? When I want to turn off the stream, it gives me this menu. Do you really want to stop streaming? It's like, yes, of course I do. So this macro presses enter to skip that, and it restarts the stream. So, you know, here I am with my iPad on the stream. I'll press the restart, and we're back up. And that's pretty good because, you know, sometimes the stream is weird and you don't know which clients are actually on and things like that. So this one is a Qtake restart button. What this will do is it will press Q and then enter. It will wait 3,000 milliseconds, reopen Qtake, and then wait some more time and then switch to the shoot room. So we'll just show you what that looks like right now. Reopening. And shoot room. So there you have it. So that's a nice button to have in a pinch because we all love restarting Qtake, right? If you're recording and you don't want to record, you can hit abort. So I have that function as well, which is a dangerous button, I know. So use with care. This one's website for Gmail. This is my messages, my Apple Messages. This one is a nice little search function because I press search and it comes up with, this one's just browse. And then these two are search by scene and search by note. So let's say I say search by scene, it'll bring up this familiar menu that we have. And then I'll go scene 12, and now it's searching by scene 12. And then I can clear it. If I want, I can press clear, and then we're back. So this just helps me search for scenes and notes and the browse. This is a screenshot button. This one opens up OBS. This is one that's important to me because I auto record on my show and my A camera first does not like to cut the camera when they say cut. So this is a force play. So this presses R and then enter and then playback and then space. So it stops recording and just forces the playback, which is nice when your operator or first won't cut. This one is going to take my main one into the edit room. And we're going to talk about this a little more, but and this one isn't very clean, but this is my edit room. And what I can do in the edit room is actually really powerful because we know how great the edit room is already. Josh, I can totally share the icons, my guy. Let me actually show you real quick. Thank you. I'm going to go here. And just so you know, the icons that I've been using, most of these, if we go into this color pack, I've downloaded all these color packs, but the one that I'm using for all these icons is VS Code icons. So these are the ones, and I basically take them and I Photoshop them and I make them for Qtake. So yeah, I'll share this profile and all the icons and everything like that. Back to Qtake. Oh yeah, we were going into the edit room here. So this is my edit page. And so this is a button for the edit room. So I can take a clip and I can insert it or I'll delete it. So I'll have this clip right here in the dock inserted, ready to go. So we'll keep that in mind that I've got a clip in the edit room ready to edit for later on in the shoot day. I won't spend too much time on the edit room. It's just a bunch of functions and it's not very dialed in. So what I want to do now is I want to just jump right into the companion unless anyone else has any questions. So now's a good time for questions, comments, anything like that. Otherwise, we're just going to jump right into the companion here. Make sure I have everything going before that. Okay. So now we are going to talk about Bitfocus Companion. And it's really the secret sauce for Streamdeck because Streamdeck is powerful in and of itself and you can do 90% of the fun stuff with Streamdeck. But where Elgato comes in, Companion comes in, is that it's open source. And so the limitations are kind of limitless. And what I've been able to find from it, some of my favorite functions are the ability to directly control my video hub with the companion. And so I'll show you what that looks like. Another fun thing I've found is Vicreo hotkey. And Vicreo hotkey lets you move the mouse and point and click. You do not need multiple instances of the Streamdeck software. You don't need that. It will all jive on the same thing. The companion profile will be weird, and I'll explain that in a bit. But let's just jump right into companion here. I want to show you what this looks like. So when we go to Bitfocus Companion first, there may be cookies involved. So you're just going to download this companion from bitfocus.io. And once you install that, you're going to want to look for this icon in the top right here, this companion icon. And then we're going to launch GUI. And that's going to take us to our Bitfocus companion page. And this one is a lot less friendly than Streamdeck, so it's kind of more under the hood. So it's a little intimidating. But it's not that bad once we get into it. I'll show you a couple things. So first off, I want to talk about connections. And the two connections you'll see here are to my Kumo AJA and to Vicreo Hotkey. So if you haven't installed them yet, those won't be there. So you'll come over to Add Connection. And if you're rocking a Kumo, you're going to type in Kumo, and there it is. And you'll be able to control your Kumo directly. But hey, I'm not using AJA. I got a Black Magic. That's not a problem. If I can type Black Magic Design Video Hub. So that might be covered by my camera, but there's an option for the Black Magic Design Video Hub right there. So whether you're AJA or Black Magic, sorry, just reading some chats here. So Blackmagic or AJA, you can have some plugins for, as well as Vicreo Hotkey, which is something you'll need to download externally. So I just want to take you through a couple of my buttons here and show you what this looks like. So ever since I got the companion, my workflow has kind of changed in that I don't use any of Qtake's routing switches down here. I don't utilize any of these anymore except for L and P. And so what this does, if we come in here and we make a new regular button, we can have press actions on it. And one of our press actions can be Kumo route input to output. So director 1 gets ACAM, director 2 gets ACAM, Tim 1 gets ACAM. So everybody's getting ACAM in my A only setup. And since I have a 32 by 32, it did take a second to set all this up, but once I had it, it's just so nice. So every single one of these buttons aren't talking to Qtake at all. They're actually configuring into the AJA Kumo, and they're routing my destinations to my sources independent of Qtake. So what does that mean in Qtake operating world? Well, I can come over to here, this button I haven't pressed yet, which is my companion button. And that's going to open up my video hub at the same time and take me to the companion page. So the way that I've been working is I'll come over here, and let's say it's A only, I'll press this. This is A camera only for everyone. Let's change it to B since that's already saved. So B camera live for everybody. I'll save that as live. Now the playback, do I want the playback to be for everybody, which is this button, or do I want the playback to be just for the director, which is this one? So I want playback just for the director most of the time, so I'll press this. That'll route my entire AJA setup, and I can save that to play. And so now, whenever I'm using my keybinds here, they're still valid. The L and the P are still doing what they need to be doing. So on the fly, I'm able to come over here and I'm able to change C live, right? C play, saved, it's done. So I've been using the companion as a really strong video switching device that lets me utilize more possible combinations and scenarios than the traditional dock. So that's been really nice. One last thing I would love to show you with the companion is kind of how complicated and fun you can get with it. So we were in the edit room earlier, and I have this clip here. And let's say we're out on a shoot, and we already have something we shot yesterday, and it's going to be a live cut. They want us to go in the edit room and do a live cut of this into that. Okay, and we want to be able to provide that on the fly. And so what I actually have done here is I've made a couple of macros, and this one's a slow version so you can see, and then this one's the regular. But using Vicreo Hotkey, I'm able to input all of the hotkeys and all of the commands and select the latency at which that all happens for every command. So what this is going to do is this is going to take the clip that we last shot. It's going to put it into the edit room. It's going to insert the take, go back to the shoot room, load up my sequence, and then play it. So I'm going to just pick something a little different here, so we have something to cut from. And I'm going to turn that back on. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into Qtake. I'm going to show you what this button looks like here in this menu. So we're shooting, and we want to cut from that tight shot that we had earlier of the old guy, and we want to go right to the other one. So I'm going to put a new clip in here. I'm just going to get rid of this one and make a shorter one. Like that. Okay, so now we want to cut from that to that instantly. So I'm going to press this button that will do it in slow motion first, and then I'll press the one that does it a little quicker. So we're going to shoot, action, and cut, edit, play. So this is going to select the clip, go to the edit room, insert the clip, go back to the shoot room, reset the play range, load the clip, and then play it. And this is all happening about 8,000 milliseconds right now for the total action. So most of you are probably kind of quicker than that, right? So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to remove that clip, and we're going to try it one more time. And we'll do the fast one. So in, out, cut, edit, play. No hands. Live edits on the fly. So there's a lot of things that you can do in Companion and in Streamdeck that I think can make your operating a lot quicker and a lot more efficient. One of the things that I haven't shown you with Vicreo that's super cool is if we make a new option, we can actually do a mouse press. We can change the mouse position and we can click the mouse. So let's say we're in a position where this edit, the thing that we're shooting live right now, actually needs to go on the left-hand side of the take. So what you could do is you could insert into there, you could insert into here a Vicreo that moves the mouse and clicks it. So you could click on that clip, move it to the left, and then go back to the shoot room. The only thing, and this is an open question for everyone, I'm having a hard time finding something that holds down the mouse key. The closest thing I've come to is Macro Recorder right here, but Macro Recorder is really buggy and I don't like using it. It's not reliable like Streamdeck is. So yeah, I think that's kind of the basics of the Qtake Streamdeck Companion workflow. One thing I would like to show you guys here is in the settings, devices, use Elgato plugin for Streamdeck access. If you have this enabled, basically what this checkbox is doing is it's saying, okay, who's driving? Is Streamdeck driving or is Companion driving? So if you're not able to edit your Companion, try turning this off. And then if you're not able to edit your Streamdeck, try turning this on. The devices Elgato plugin is the main switch that's going to give you trouble with connecting the Companion to the Kumo. The other thing I would like to show you real quick, just as we close, is as we go into the Companion, into the Streamdeck, there's this button here that shows us the Streamdeck store, and from there we can get the plugins. So we'll look for the Companion plugin, and I already have it installed. And when you look for the Companion plugin, I want you to think of it like importing the profile. So I want you to mess around in Companion and make sure that you have a really good page before you import the Companion, because the installation of the Companion plugin is basically an import. So yeah, and if anyone has any questions with that, you know, as they go along their journey, I'd be happy to help them. Okay, well, I think that's about it. I think I've said all I really want to say here on the Stream Decks. I'm gonna just take a quick 10 minutes and listen to what you guys have to say here, and see if anybody's got some input or questions. I'd love to chat with you guys. Frank, thanks for joining, man. I appreciate it. Have you worked with the feedback capabilities of the Kumo and Companion? Yes. Vincent, that's a really good question. Let's jump into that real quick. So here in a button, what we can actually do is we can have a regular button that has feedback. And what the feedback can go, it can go Kumo, source, routes to destination. So let's say if my director is looking at a cam, then this is going to be red. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, wait, you guys aren't seeing this. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, so I go in here and on the feedback menu right here, I can make the feedback be Kumo, source, routes to destination. So destination 1, if the director is looking at a cam, we make it red, right? So what that's going to look like is if I press A live, that's going to make it red. So let's make another feedback here. We can go browse, Kumo, source, routes to destination. And if they're looking at B cam, we'll make it blue. So now they're looking at B, now they're looking at A, and that's changing. And that's giving you live information as to what's going on out there in the world if you can't see your monitors. So that's actually huge. Great comment, Vincent. Appreciate it. I've tried to have single buttons that can shuttle through live playback with each press, but didn't figure out the time offset to get it working properly. Single buttons that can shuttle through. What do you mean, Vincent, shuttle through live and playback? We're talking Stream Deck, guys. We're talking Companion. Anyone got any questions? I'm probably going to hop off in 15 minutes. Stream Deck software on an iPad. Connected to the same. That's a really good point, Frank. So over here, if somebody has an iOS device that is networked in, you can open up the Streamdeck app, which is right here. And you actually have Streamdeck control from your phone. So if I need to go run 10-1 and I'm on the stage and they call on the radio, Nick, can you switch to AB? I'm like, oh yeah, I pull out my phone, I change it. So if you're on the same local network and you have the Streamdeck app, it's really nice to have, but I think it costs money, but it's fine. Would Companion handle this any easier, faster? I'm almost certain Companion can do whatever it is you're trying to do better. And the Streamdeck app does work with Companion pages, so you're good there. Yeah, exactly, Vincent. You can get super specific with this stuff, right? You can have a button that's like director play, DP play. You can just get, and you can have pages and pages and pages of this, and it's really powerful. I don't feel like I'm contained by Qtake anymore. There will be a VOD of the live stream as soon as I go off. There'll probably be an upload there. You're welcome, Vincent. Thanks for joining, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it was really fun. And then also, sorry, my live switching hasn't been awesome, but you know, I'm using the little Stream Deck here to switch to my. So like this is my Qtake page, and then like this is just me, and then this is the companion one that I have to pull this up for. So I'm also using the Stream Deck right now in OBS to like do fun stuff. So. All right, guys. Well, I just want to thank you all so much for popping in and chatting with me about this stuff. It's really fun to see some of you, or you know, just get chatting about this cool new toy, because it's been cool for me. So I think that's about it. We're gonna hop off. Josh, I am so surprised. It's been so reliable. You know, knock on wood, of course, but you know, the Stream Deck has been a really solid external device. Obviously, don't. You know, rely on it all the way. Use your keyboard. Be safe. But one more thought. New Stream Deck just came out with knobs instead of buttons. No, I would really like to try the knobs one, but the problem with the knob Stream Deck is I don't really know how to integrate it with Qtake, right? Maybe you could integrate it with your Focusrite or your audio devices or something. But no, I haven't messed around with the dial one. So if you get your hands on one, let me know and we can chat. Because, yeah, it's got a touch screen. I know it's super slick. I'm just, I'd like to get my hands on it for sure. Whoa. Stream Deck Plus, that's the one, Galen. Okay, well, I'm just going to do this real quick. All right, guys, last call. I'm just going to pull up my Stream Deck page. Any other questions, comments, concerns, anything like that? I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm going to jump. Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, you guys. I really appreciate it. If anyone has any questions or ideas about Stream Deck, anything like that, like hit me up, because I'm always looking to learn more. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.